Here's the situation. I'm in Bucharest. Romanian Special Police Unit has gone rogue, stormed the US Embassy, and taken multiple hostages, calling it an arrest despite being disavowed by their government. What's worse is that multiple hostages are CIA employees, and intelligence might be compromised. My role? Link up with... My role is to link up with my Delta Force contacts, free the hostages, and retake the embassy. With minimal casualties on all sides. Friendlies, civilians, even hostiles. Keep it from getting any messier. My only approved weapon is this HK Mark 23 SOCOM. All other weapons are on-site procurement. For most military units, this is trouble. But for Foxhound, this is a walk in the park. What am I doing? Alright, everyone on me. Gotta clear out this lobby. Just with one round left in the chamber, alright. Ah, son of a bitch. Everyone's down. Alright, let's keep going. Shit, they've got me pinned down. There we go. Pop your head up. Alright. Go wipe him up for me. Oh shit. Left one down, left one up. Let's put a safety round in him. Just to make sure. See, that kid's called canoeing, and Robert J. O'Neill really likes that. Another day at the office for Foxhound. Gotta work on the safety drills. Son of a bitch. Automated weapon system down. Alright, stay there. Let me take care of this part. Gotta be a little bit quicker there. Alright, hostages should be released around now. Hold on. Alright, good, let's keep going. Hostages are out, now we just gotta clear out the rest. Damn, he took that one. What is he wearing? Level 4 on his head? Alright, everyone's clear. Let's keep going. That should put him down. Oh man. Damn it, they're in the walls. Damn, they're swarming me. At least it works center mass. Alright, let's clear out this balcony. We should be good. Damn. Gotta get real low so they don't hit me back. Got a drone up. Hold on, let me take care of that. Damn it. Hold on, let me put up my transition. Let me switch BGMs. Gentlemen, there are two wolves inside of you. Gentlemen, there are two wolves inside of you. One thinks elegant wood grips as the peak of weapon design. The other lusts for tactical polymer frames and accessories. Both are gay. Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, the Arbitrative Conclusions channel. I'm your host, the Talking Male Gun Buddy, and today we're looking at perhaps the most 90s pistol in existence, the Mark 23. The Mark 23 SOCOM in 45 ACP. It's an icon of its own. Whether you're fighting for the lolly lulelo or against them, you'd better have this big dog by your side. It's a real foxhound of a pistol, if you will. I encourage you to like and subscribe, leave a comment for the algorithm god, a god who doesn't like to show my stream to many people unless they play Girls Front Line or react to alcohol videos. Whether you're sitting on the toilet, eating your coffee, drinking your beer, time thefting for your workplace, I absolutely appreciate you being here. Now, it's a quick word from our sponsor. So, gentlemen, two things in life are certain, as the great Benjamin Franklin once said, death and taxes. And I'm not too fond of either. Unfortunately, since the IRS has in fact started equipping their vultures with fully equipped fire teams, death is likely if we don't pay taxes. Normally, the HK Mark 23 would be my answer, but gunfights raise cortisol levels, so I'm not exactly comfortable with that. And that's why this stream has been sponsored by hold on. Has been sponsored by hold on. This is why today's stream has been sponsored by Tail Winery and Munitions. Hold on, as I don't come on. I am fumbling a bit here. Hold on. Today's stream has been sponsored by. Hold on. Let me go find it. Tail Winery and Munitions. I didn't know he made munitions until now, but they are in fact very welcome if they will supply ammunition for the channel. Hold on. Hold on, the window's broken. Let me repair the window. Hold on. I gotta redo the bit. I gotta redo the bit because the window is broken. There we go. Today's stream has been thankfully sponsored by Tail Winery and Munitions, so those taxes can finally be paid off. It's also because he makes the best questionably legal products since Prohibition. He turns your waifus into wine, bitches into beer, and man, I can't bitches into not beer. He doesn't. He turns your waifus into wine and bitches into booze, and man, I can't get enough of it. Well, from the incredible dryness of malicious mana to the beautiful sweetness of sangria del gato, this damn rat makes stuff good enough to make you consider questionable decisions involving an automobile. Code Cupid, hold on. Code Cupid should get you 10% off on every order. The best part is that the IRS comes for him first. He has a gun too. And now, please be sure to check out Tail Winery and Munitions for all of your wine needs. I'm not using his munitions because he hasn't offered that to me yet, but he will hopefully soon. And now, gentlemen, back to the Mark 23. Okay, hold on. Back to the Mark 23. So this gun started life back in 1989 as a contract by U.S. SOCOM or the United States Special Operations Command, by the United States Special Operations Command, and called the OHWS, or the Offensive Handgun Weapon System. Wanted to replace the wide swath of handguns that would have been issued to its operators from the 1911 45 ACP, as we see here. Mr. Two World Wars, we all love it. The Beretta 92, another fan favorite of mine, especially. As well as the 9mm SIG P226. This is a P228. What it wanted, it really wanted the ultimate handgun for special forces to use. And hold on, let's get one of those out. As we can see from this beauty, it could do anything it wanted. It could do anything it wanted to do, from including frying eggs and fetching beer. And wanted it to be done very well. The ill-fated Operation Gothic Serpent in Somalia around 1993, aka Black Hawk Down, tragically left 2 U.S. Army Delta Force operators stranded without support and forced to rely on their sidearms. And that further motivated SOCOM to really emphasize that this was an overmatch pistol, which resulted in the chosen caliber being 45 ACP. While 9mm was becoming far more popular among the U.S. military at the time, the switch back to 45 ACP purely for special operators was desired for maximum lethality on soft targets. This was really chosen for if you hit it, to make sure you hit it the first time. Make sure you hit it the first time. Make sure it goes down that time. Do a few drills with this. They really wanted the most out of this. They really wanted something big, something you can put down a target in a single shot, and have at least 11 more in reserve. While 9mm was becoming far more popular, they really did wanted the most lethality out of a handgun as possible, without resorting to something like a Magnum caliber, of course, which was not practical for the military at that time. Making sure these work. Unfortunately, it seems the wind has in fact blown down some of my targets, so we're gonna reset some of those in a second. In this salty sea wind, in this lovely offshore facility that we have. Totally, is it real or is it part of your imagination? We never know. Well, we do know that it is in fact real. Hold on, there are some stray targets I need to get rid of. That'll be for later. We'll go for those for later. Anyways, they really wanted their pistol to do everything. It needed to work in salt water. As we can see, we are in a very salty environment at the moment. In sand and mud and ice and snow. Needed to take suppressors, needed to work in humid, arid, hot, and cold. Needed to take silencers, needed to take suppressors, needed to take lasers and lights and everything. This was one of the first pistols that was really designed for that role. This was, to my knowledge, this is the first original design for a polymer handgun. I think it was developed concurrently to the USP. It kind of shaped. It was one of the first. I mean, the first hammer-fired polymer frame that it came from an original design. There were prototypes before, like the Browning High Power that had a polymer frame, but this was the first of its kind to be really designed around both a hammer fire mechanism and a polymer frame, which is a plastic frame. Um, this needed to take light. This needed to take lights. This needed to take lasers. This needed to take suppressors. The whole thing. Before you would need a lot of aftermarket accessories to mount a laser onto a pistol. You need some kind of frame mount, like you'd see in the old Terminator movies, where the laser would be mounted to the frame here, and then it would loop around. It would have this arch around the top, so it would be in line with the sights. This was the first to really put it to really have a special rail to put accessories on. Before then, you would have to have it manually attached by some kind of other aftermarket device. Especially around this time before Picatinny rails were adopted. It needed to be carried cocked and locked, which means you can carry this on safe, with the hammer down. You can carry it like a 1911. You can it has a separate decocker and a separate decocker and a safety. Most pistols, such as the Beretta 92 and the SIG P226, to my knowledge at least, carry the have the decocker and the safety be the same thing. So just like that. As you can see, we are often carrying this cocked and locked. So the safety is the only thing I need to take on and off. And it needed to have a slide lock, or the original design had a slide lock for maximum noise reduction. As you can see, if you're familiar with the Metal Gear games, those became famous on the M9 Hush Puppy and the Smith & Wesson Model 39 Hush Puppy, which at this time the Navy SEALs were still also using as a qualification weapon in BUDS, which is their version of basic training. Out of many major gun companies, only Colt and Heckler & Koch managed to reach actual prototype status. Oh, hold on. Let me keep showing 2 World War, Sonny. Yep. Nice to see you here, Dantioch. But yeah, let's get a very good look at this pistol. They did remove the slide lock version on later models. To my knowledge, you can't really do that anymore. That was shifted to other pistols, and this wasn't as much priority. This original Knight's KAC Mark 23 comes with a Nielsen device, as is on a lot of recoil-operated pistols. But this one is really pronounced. It comes integrated with the suppressor. Usually, some kind of piston or Nielsen device is required to be alongside the suppressor. In order for the gun to function properly and cycle properly. The suppressors on these come integrated with that device, so you don't need an extra part for it. And then you have the very famous laser aiming module, which was developed for this pistol by Insight Technologies, from I believe. Early on as well. A lot of suppressors for these were developed either internally by Heckler & Koch or by Berger and Thomé, which you may know from a lot of their modern rifle platforms. Before then, they used to make a lot of guns for H&K, but they used to make the suppressor for this. They used to make the parts for H&K, specifically a lot of suppressors. So they used to be until the Mark 23, which is iconic for its role. Like, you would see these a lot in Shadow Moses and the Big Shell. You would find this is where you would find these. The Mark 23, the KAC Mark 23 suppressor is the one you see a lot in most media because it's most frequently associated with it. A lot of the requirements for this gun at its time were kind of ridiculous because no other company really wanted to make a pistol this complex, this overbuilt, this heavy. And again, in the end, only Colt and H&K prevailed, and Colt's offering, while interesting on its own, did not survive prototype stages, and so we're only left with the H&K version, which was the only one to pass prototype stage and enter production. There was a lot of iterations, as a lot of Teutonic space magic goes through a lot of iterations. HK is very well known because they go through a lot of prototypes. There's a whole plethora of HK prototypes that you never see the light of day, like the SMG-2, or which later became the UMP, or the a lot of the G11 prototypes that never made it into service. But this one was no different. It went through a whole list of things that it had to go through before it was formally accepted. HK's off, and it was, with input, a lot of input came from the U.S. Navy SEALs and from Delta Force, as this was intended for that role. U.S. SOCOM, as a branch, controls a lot of, independently controls a lot of the U.S. military's, independent special forces branches, such as the DevGru, which is SEAL Team 6, Delta Force, the Green Berets, and all that. I believe Marine Raiders and U.S. Air Force JTAC are part of this, but out of all these branches, only the Navy SEALs ever adopted this. This was supposed to be a branches-wide sidearm for most, this was supposed to be a universal sidearm for a lot of these special forces units in the U.S. military, but only one branch decided to adopt it, and that's because this was really tailored for the SEALs' needs at the end of the day. This, the polymer frame could withstand corrosion really well because it doesn't rust. It doesn't rust on contact with seawater or corrode the way aluminum or steel might. It was rather convenient for them to carry in holsters on their body. As you can see, this was really meant to be an offensive handgun. That being said, that was meant for the specific role, really, this was really meant to replace the primary weapon or act in absence of a primary weapon. As you can see with this general size, with the general weight of this kind of thing, these entered service in 1996, and again, the U.S. Navy SEALs were the only ones to ever adopt it. This was perhaps the most American weapon to be designed by the Germans, but despite all that, Germany never adopted the Mark 23. It stuck with the USP, which was a later which the USP 45 could be considered a product improved or a later evolution of this concept. But they're still making both of them today. Actually, this has lasted longer than the USP because HK doesn't make the USP anymore as much to my... Well, it's still in production, but there's other pistols that they've proposed to try and really take its place, but this particular model is still going strong. The SEALs adopted it. The Royal Malaysian Navy and some SWAT units for the Royal Malaysian Police adopted it. The Polish GROM Army land unit adopted it, and yeah, the Indonesian Navy and Special Forces adopted it as well. But that's only 4 countries. No one outside of the US and maybe Malaysia ever used this pistol in significant numbers, and that's for a good reason. This thing is gigantic. This thing is very heavy. Most of this, this was really expressly designed for special forces. You are not going to issue this to the average infantryman. This is never seeing the light of day in the hands of an infantryman unless he got lucky or he bought this for himself at home, because this is it's not real. It is not a it is not a universal service pistol. This is for the secret squirrel high speed cool guys. This is for the elites. This is for all the people that all the people that really need something super special, tailor specific for their mission needs. And you're never going to see that in the hands of grunts who carry rifles and ruck all day. The USP was generally more popular for this because it was more stripped down. Its younger sister was a lot more popular because you could get it was a product improved variant. A lot of the bulk and the weight of this that was present in the early versions and stayed around for this version really was cut down on the USP. But this isn't about the USP. This is about the Mark 23. It entered service in 1996 and lasted until I think the early 2010s. After around that time, it kind of fell out of favor with US Navy SEALs because there's a whole plethora of other guns that they could have used. A lot of them stuck mostly with the P226, which is still in service today. Some have moved on to the Glock. A lot of other people have chosen the USP because they just generally found it a lot better for its intended use case. But the thing is, HK, against all odds, it still produces this gun today, mostly for the civilian market, for enthusiasts like you and me. What is my relationship to HK? I bought this with my own money. This was really a personal purchase out of interest because I am quite fond of Metal Gear. And at the end of the day, what is my relationship with HK? They don't know who I am. I've responded to their post on Twitter, and they don't talk to me. I have corrected them when they have referenced this pistol as part of Metal Gear. It is not an MGS-V, as one might be mistaken. This is purely an MGS-4, MGS-1, MGS-2, and MGS-4 gun. In this current configuration, which is as it appeared in those games, iron sights, laser aiming module, and this KAC suppressor. Oh, I missed that one. Really, oh, that's my last mag. I'm gonna have to get some more ammo for a second. Oh, what do you know? One round left. Let's refill on some of that. All right, that should be good. Oh, but yeah, they really want to make as much Deutschmarks as they can from this thing. This is around 3K on the civilian market MSRP for this gun. Most rifles cost a lot less than this gun. It's really a luxury piece if you don't carry one for service. It's a real premium product. Overbuilt to hell. It's got that cold hammer forged barrel, which they brag is often made from the same material as artillery barrels. How sure of that I am, I'm not entirely, but I guess it's an interesting tidbit because you like to have this thing very strong. And the whole slide setup on this is really meant for overmatch. This is one of the few guns out there that is expressly meant to take 45 super and or 45 ACP plus loads, because most of them such as 1911 SIG P220s are not meant to take this kind of ammunition. As you can see here, I am running 45 super 230 grains today. Again, you cannot do this with a lot of handguns because it is too powerful to withstand for a lot of these. The frames are too thin. The barrels and the chambers are not built hard enough for prolonged use of 45 super. So having this be expressly set up for that I think this took 6K rounds of 45 super out of the box. Out of the box, it's really meant to feed all kinds of 45 ammunition, 45 ACP ammunition at least. Um, all types available. I think if you run steel case through this, you should be fine. And that's the magic of it. It can take anything. It can take overpressure. It can take steel case. It can take that dirt shit ammo. It'll still run reliably. It won't break or fail on you. It might jam because this is a very heavy slide. It might not cycle, but at the end of the day, it's still gonna run. It's not gonna hurt the gun. It's meant to be abused. It's meant to be ran like hell. It is meant to be beat to shit. And at the end of the day, it's still gonna run for you for maybe the next 10 years or so. Um. Hold on. BGM stopped. Anyways, the general way to this, I think that what should be mentioned is that I have mentioned a lot that this is utterly gigantic. 3.2 pounds loaded, which is not counting the laser aiming module or the suppressor. Weighed bare, this is 3.2 pounds loaded. From beaver tail, which is around here, to muzzle, it is from beaver tail to muzzle, it is around 9.65 inches long, and this is one of the largest. This is perhaps the largest semi-automatic pistol ever adopted officially by a military. It's comparable to the Desert Eagle in general size. Thankfully, it is half its weight, but that's not a lot when your gun weighs more than 2 pounds. The thing is heavier than some submachine guns. This is around the weight of like if you add on back the flashlight, the laser aiming module, and a suppressor, you're probably in the same general ballpark as the MP5K Bear with a loaded magazine. I think that is around 4.4 pounds, and the laser and the suppressor and the sights definitely add on to that. If you ever wondered why Snake and Raiden, why in the intro I could have just clubbed the bad guys with this gun. If you ever wondered why they didn't need knives for CQCs, because they can just hit people with this gun and they would go down. This could really be used as a club in any direction. Any direction could use this as a club. Really effective. Really effective if you wanted to beat someone to death and somehow you ran out of ammo. But yeah, it is frighteningly effective as a butcher's tool if you really need to hit someone with it. For someone with twink e-boy hands like me, this is very bad news, because as you're well aware, big guns are a bit uncomfortable to use. Everyone says, "Oh, it's a hands gun, not a handgun," but for someone like me, I cannot use this weapon if you have more than one hand, unless I have two hands on it all the time. The best part is, at the very least, a lot of the controls are pretty big. Yeah, they're hard to reach, but if you have a second hand handy, then they work just fine. The mag release is quite odd. You see right there on the side, usually where my thumb is resting. Normally, they have a button, like pistols like this have a button you push in. This one has a switch that you push down to eject the magazine. It's the same general motion as pushing in, so thankfully it doesn't have too many problems. But sometimes you are worried that sometimes your finger is going to slip and you're going to hit that mag release, unlike with a button, where you really can't rest your hand on it. It's not very obtrusive. This you really can hit it by accident. But I don't think it should be too much of a problem if you're used to other pistols. Thankfully. Doing another reload for that to demonstrate that. I can't get if I can't get two hands on this plastic brick, I can't really use it at all. It becomes significantly easier with the second hand doing reloading and cocking and all that jazz, but the sheer size of it is something to behold. This is supposed to be double action, single action. This was made as a double action, single action. But if you know, you know. If you don't, then if it's uncocked like this, which is I decocked it for demonstration purposes, the normally this hammer is supposed to be down. If it's in single action, right now the safety's off. This is in double action. If I pull this trigger, it's going to be very hard on my hands, and I'm going to cry because it is very long, it is very hard, it is worse than the Beretta or some other pistols that I've felt. One of the worst double actions you can ever get on a gun, which is why they developed the cocked and locked method, which is condition 1. You can have it on safe. My camera might be acting up. The hammer should be down at the moment. When you draw it, you can just sweep the safety off, and the gun will be already cocked. This is the same function that the 1911 has. You can carry where the safety is meant to be deployed while the gun is cocked. Where the only motion you really need is taking the safety off, and then the gun is ready, allowing for very easy use. So you don't have to fight through the double action trigger pull. Thank God for that. Thank HK for that. Which is why you see me cocking it manually. Whenever I put it aside, whenever I draw it for the first time, I cock it manually. And I do this a lot on a lot of double action guns simply because it is actively painful to fight through double action triggers. Because the double action functions as its own safety most of the time, because of the pull weight. However, for all you 1911 Two World Wars FUDs out there, this plastic package can be ran as a 1911 would. Again, like I said, condition 1, put it on safe, hammer down. You can put it up, take the safety off, and you're ready to go. Unlike most double action, single action pistols, the decocker and the safety, which the decocker is forward of the thumb and the safety is back of the thumb. The decocker and the safety are two separate pieces, where all you really need to do is put your thumb on the safety if you want to leave it cocked. You can decock it if you want, but that's going to leave it in double action. And you cannot decock it while the gun is on safe, which is a very nice addition, because I don't have to deal with that. Just like how I run in the 1911s. Besides being the biggest, this is probably one of those most feature-rich handguns of its time. You got lasers, you got lights, you got threaded barrels, the whole kitchen sink. Later iterations like this one allow me to mount an optic on the slide. We can play a bit harder with this Silencer Co. Osprey, and we can keep this laser aiming module unit in the Trijicon RMR. This was not present in the intro, but this does help a lot when it comes to guns like this. Again, it's a defensive handgun. This is really meant for a red dot or an optic. This was really calling for one, even if it wasn't designed for one. So, as long as you get to keep the iron sights, which are excellent, by the way, tritium irons, it is really meant for optics like one of these. Gonna refill on some of that. Most defensive handguns today carry optics, so why shouldn't one of these? Of course, this works just fine if you know what you're doing with a, oh, nope, that's, creating errors in the simulation. Hold on. Let's see if we can do a long shot with this one. Oh, wow. Is that an A-zone? Or, like, maybe a Bravo? That was a, might have been a Charlie. Yeah, that might be another Charlie. Another Charlie map. Hold on. Let's see if I can get a, an alpha from here. Seems I'm still, a little bit short of this. One of the best parts, oh, that's a, that was sad. That was a, I think that was a Delta. In general, this gun is a lot more, it's a lot more accurate than you are. What do I mean by that? Most of the time, I'm not going to get as much as I can out of this handgun. Oh, we finally got it. We finally got an alpha. And I wasn't even aiming that time. Let's see if I can really dial it in. Oh, we got another alpha. Let's go. That was great. I did not expect to get an alpha from that distance. But anyways, that'll be for later when we're going to do a specific drill relating to that. Actually, you know what? Let's run some drills now. It could be worse than an M83. Yeah. Let's run some drills. Let's start off with something simple. Let's do something simple. Let's do a basic build drill. Just from you're gonna have to be my shot timer because I unfortunately do not have a shot timer with me today. This will be for a second. Hold on. Gun on safe. All right. Come on, y'all gotta be my shot timer. Give me a beep, and I will turn around and hit these targets. Come on, guys, you gotta give me a beep. Actually, if Mr. Clanker came in right about now, that would be just perfect. Because, actually, just to demonstrate what a build drill is, it's on safe, and beep. Just 5 rounds, right on target, all on center mass. Do that again. If we're in low light conditions, we're simulating that. Oh wow, I shot through the maybe this range isn't as safe as I thought it was when I built it, but you know. Anyways, this is the basic build drill that we're gonna do today. We're gonna do it light off, safety on. We're gonna do it low ready. Alright, so that was mostly Charlie's with, let me do that again? Hold on. I think I, lingered a bit too long there. Hold on. In general, at this range, you should hit what you're aiming at, but, mostly Deltas and Charlies with a couple Bravos, I think there. As you can see, you can, like, from this range, like, getting an alpha shouldn't really be a problem. If we back into this, where this target is, around from this distance, low ready. I may have gotten some overkill. It's supposed to be a build drill, which is 5 rounds. We were able to get an alpha on that one. Anyways, let's try 3 here. I hit an alpha here, but a lot of the rest were Charlies on this one. Something we can do is the something fun we can do is the El Presidente, which is on safe. This was developed as like a hostage, self-liberating hostage rescue drill for bodyguards. If you're at gunpoint and you had to really take out your targets quickly, you can do this. I think it's hold on, let me go fill up on ammo real quick. That was my last mag. Oh, maybe I screwed up on that one. Hold on. For the El Presidente, we can go right here on safe. Hands out. Draw. That was not aim down sights. That was from point, but we can do that again. Hold on. Gun on safe. Fists up, hands down. Really took care of that one really well, but at the same time, unfortunately, we did get all Charlies on that one. I guess this is a rather harsh. This is a rather harsh IPSEC target. Let's try that again, one more time. Beep. Could be better, could be worse. At least we're hitting center mass. Let's try a 22422 on this one. Well, hold on, I wasn't ready. We gotta get in this. We gotta get in the zone first. Play around on this dueling star to warm up a bit. All right. Anyway, so the basic of the 22422 drill is we two rounds, 4 rounds, 2 rounds. Yeah, 22422. All right. So starting position, I guess we'll do it on low, ready, on safe. I did that wrong. I haven't done this drill very much, so I kind of screwed that one up. If you should stop tuning and did some more drills, you would be better at this. Anyways, beep. I still did it wrong. Hold on. Let me try that again. Okay. Beep. All right. That's more like it. And of course, yeah, what is a defensive handgun without a Dickens drill? If you're those who are unaware of the Dickens drill, we set up a target, however far. It probably isn't according to the official Dickens drill regulations, but you can't really have an offensive handgun without hitting it an offensive amount of yards away. So let's try that now. That was very far off center. Oh, we got a Bravo there. We got another far off center. That's probably an Echo. That's another Echo, I think. We are not hitting this thing very far. I think the best part is that we can't really see the center. So getting a oh, that was a Bravo. Hitting the exact center is gonna be a bit hard. And let's see if we can, before we have to stock up on mags again. Hold on. That was another Charlie. Should be good for the rest of the run. You know what? While we're here, I might as well run through the whole course. Maybe that wasn't the plan. Hold on. So, what we should do, we start behind the plane. We start behind this lovely Harrier. Oh, nope. Got a variety of targets set up here. Maybe it wasn't the best idea to set it, like, going into this without some kind of plan. You know, we'll start here. Engage as much targets as we can here. Then we go on to that side, engage the targets there. Then we go loop around and clear out that stage. Alright. Gotta really hit those headshots here. Got attack reload there. Oh, no, yeah, run this way. I was a lot better at the kill house in the beginning, I will say. Nope. This is the hostage rescue. Oh, we killed the hostage. We gotta restart. Might as well try the Dickens drill again. Oh, that was a Charlie. That was far off target. That was another one off the mark. I'm getting warmer. That was over its head. That was another one. That was another one far from the target. Oh, we finally got finally got a Bravo. I think that's a Charlie. That's a I think that's far off target. Again, this gun is this gun will be more precise than you. A lot of it is because like human error. There on a lot of firearms, you are not getting the bang out of your buck if you are not as good. I'm not a very good shooter. I just practiced a lot for that intro, which means you cannot exactly get the performance that you are willing to get out of this gun on demand if you don't really dial it in, really lock in for that kind of thing. You could conceivably get sniped with this from this kind of distance. Like we're getting alphas here. That was a Charlie. Hold on, let me get an alpha for y'all. See, if your hand starts shaking, which it does around here, it does get a bit hard. There we go. Got that Charlie. But for the most part, gotta love how crisp it all is. Even though it's built for giants and people over 6 feet tall, it does fit pretty well in the hand when you get used to it. It's good to have. It's very much a big iron, or I guess a big plastic by your side. Would it be something? Let's try that El Presidente drill again. This gun wasn't really meant for defensive use, but you know, any gun could be a defensive gun if you want it to be. Hands out. Beep. Oh, we got an alpha there. Well, you should get an alpha if you're shooting at this close of a range. Let's try the other El Presidente drill. Let's try the collateral drill. We have our we're gonna face the target. Face the target, gun on safe, and then draw. And then and then 6 rounds, 6 here, 2 here, 3 here, 1 here. All right. 3, 2, 1, beep. I hit it on impulse. I was not supposed to do that. Let's put it back on safe. Oh, no. Let's put it back on safe. Let's put it back on safe and try that again. I don't know what I'm thinking here. I'm just fooling about. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Yo, homie, is that my briefcase? Well, center mass hopefully should work on that one. Maybe I shouldn't be shooting so close. Put that back on safe. Yo, homie, is that my briefcase? Some Charlie and Bravos. I think those are workable in a self-defense situation. Want to get an alpha again. That makes me feel good when I get an alpha. I'm getting Bravos here. There we go. There's our alpha. I think we should restock on mags again. And so anyways, issue with this is that is all of this really necessary? This is as powerful as actually no. Hold on, wrong part of the script. Something I feel the need to demonstrate, as we saw in the intro, you really need to hit your headshots with this kind of thing if you want to get the most performance out of it. As we can see on these very realistic ballistic dummies, on soft targets, this is remarkably center mass on soft targets. This is remarkably efficient, as it was designed to be against unarmored targets. Of course, you go for the head. You get that kind of thing. You get the you get instant lethality from any distance that you get if you manage to hit that head. But against body armor, as we saw in the intro, where a lot of our hostiles were wearing body armor, this is not going to be very effective. So you really need to hit those headshots, and so as if you're up against 45 super, like whatever helmet you're wearing isn't probably going to protect you from very much. Even if the round doesn't kill you, the back face deformation will. So you got to really be precise if you want to be good with this in this modern age of body armor. And again, center mass works most of the time defensively, but you got to pump a lot of rounds if you want to really take out your target if they're wearing body armor. So again, best used on fleshy soft targets, not as much hard-plated targets. Hard-plated targets. Going on what we were talking about earlier, this is meant as an offensive pistol, which is a pistol meant to be employed in place of a primary weapon in the absence of a long gun, such as a rifle or a submachine gun. But a major concern that I should address is the concept really bound? Is it really bound to work in modern environments? Is it sound? Is it able to succeed? As beautiful as this weapon is it really necessary for that kind of thing? All this weight and bulk for what? So the polymer frame is going to be less durable on average than a lot of metal frames. The metal parts are ass heavy. Well, you can mount newer ones like the versions I'm running here. As it was originally intended, this was not intended to take a red dot sight. You can mount newer accessories to it, but the intended electronics accessories are pretty old and outdated, and they weigh a shit ton. It's part of the gun's charm, and you can't imagine this without the big ass laser aiming module on the front. But it might not. But it's kind of old. It's kind of past its intended use, and it might not even have the best performance in its class of weapon. A lot of modern militaries today are running stuff like Glocks and Glock variants, polymer handguns and 9mm that hold a lot more than this on average. There are guns out there that can hold up to 17 to 20 rounds. There are 5.7 guns that can run up to 30 rounds per mag, if you know the 5.7, similar guns like that. Even in class, which is the 45 ACP realm of things, the 2011s, the double stack 1911s, such as the in 45, such as the Para Ordnance P14 and such as the Para Ordnance P14 and the Remington R1 hold 14 rounds, which is two more than this 12-round magazine. This gun's main rival, which is the FNP45, which was released a few years later after this, and the modern version of that, which is the FNX, hold 15 rounds per mag of 45 ACP, and that's a flush fit mag. This is flush fit as well. It could be easily argued that the USP-45 is just the Mark 12, but more streamlined. That's why the Bundeswehr and the German army decided to go with the USP-45 instead of the Mark 12 for their general use, for their special forces use in the offensive handgun role, because it doesn't have this gun's bulk and weight and all that unnecessary stylings where it's overbuilt to all hell when the regular USP can do just fine. Hell, the USP-45 can take the same mags as this one, but this can't even take USP-45 mags, despite the USP-45 mags being a lot more common and a lot cheaper. Like, this was not meant to take those mags, but it can take that one, so what's the point of running this if you can just get a USP-45? You can, in fact, get extended mags. You can get 17 rounders, you can get 20 rounders, you even get 24 rounders, but the issue is a lot of those aren't entirely reliable and they're harder to load. You're getting a lot of spring pressure there, it might have some failures to feed, and it'll be the magazine's fault, not the gun's really, because the gun works fine, but the magazine cannot be often trusted to cycle reliably. The longer it gets, the more spring pressure is going to get more wonky on the internals of this kind of gun. And the main issue is that those mags are hard to find on the market. There's a reason today we're only running 12 rounders, which is 12 plus 1 in the chamber, which gives you a total of 13 rounds if you're really stringent about that kind of thing. So 13 rounds compared to 14 or even 15 in other guns they can get reliably isn't much anymore. Yeah, sure, there are other guns that that don't take as much. The 1911 in single stack form takes 7 or 8. The SIG P220 takes 10 rounders. So this was, for its time, pretty good. But a lot of modern handguns have superseded it in a lot of ways. And like we said earlier, 45 ACP is just not going to cut it against body armor. Like what you see here, you're not going to get that kind of performance. See how little the target moves, and see like there isn't much that you're gonna get out of this compared to against bare targets, which is why you really got to be precise if you're running this kind of thing. Like, its size, like, as an offensive handgun, it has to have superior offensive capability, which if you can't penetrate body armor, then what's the point of running this kind of thing? Which has been body armor is going to be a lot more legitimate of a threat amongst potential attackers or potential defenders if you're running this as an offensive weapon. If you're running this as an offensive weapon, this is going to be a lot more body armor is going to be much more frequent as a threat on the kinds of threats that you're expected to see. And if you can't deal with those effectively, then what's the point of having this around? As a companion to a larger rifle, yeah, sure, it could be argued that you could get this as a companion to, like, a honey badger or something like that, but what's the point? Like, when you have something like that out, then what's the point of having something as big as this? Its size and weight, which I mentioned earlier, is comparable to the MP5K, which I would generally rather have in a situation like this. Than in an offensive warfare situation. I would much rather have an MP5. There isn't really anything that this gun does better than a standard service sidearm, than an assault carbine, then a PDW or a personal defense weapon, then a submachine gun. This weighs around the same as a lot of smaller submachine guns, so why carry this around is a big question. Especially when alternatives like the USP-45 exist if you want that 45 ACP stopping power. It doesn't do, besides being unnaturally precise and durable and reliable for a pistol, it's special in that regard, but it doesn't do it better than other weapons that are outside of its class. But why do I still love the darn thing? Its vibes, its aura, look at it. The gun that screams hardcore professionalism. It might be big and bold, but it ain't loud like a Desert Eagle or flashy like a 2011. It stays quiet, it stays silent even. Many other reviewers of this thing call it an apocalypse gun or a doomsday gun. Some of the rare handguns that trust with their life to get them through a world-ending disaster. Desert Eagle might be something like a Ford Raptor, a 2011 might be a tricked-out Corvette. The Mark 23 is like an Audi Quattro or one of those rally cars. It goes into whatever environment it wants, it gets the job done. It takes the trophy and it leaves without another word. It carries so much weight and authority without needing to broadcast it, really. And that's the realm of operators that we see it being used with on the screen. Compared with its smaller sister, the USP, it has a lot less popularity, but a stronger presence. Alejandro Gillick uses it to eliminate a hacienda full of cartel soldados in Sicario. John Connor uses one to protect himself from T-600s in Terminator Salvation. And most famously, you got Solid Snake and Raiden betting their life on these in the Shadow Moses, and as we are here in the Big Shell, this certainly saved Raiden's life more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times when it comes to the kinds of threats and these very unnatural threats that Dead Cell faced, that he would face with Dead Cell. A lot of them, he could bet his life on. He could bet his life on this gun to take him through even the weirdest of bad guys, which is, I guess, the point of Foxhound. There we go. Let's get those alphas. It really is the protagonist's gun. Quite often we always associate like these kinds of weapons with big hand, like the protagonist's weapon with something like a big handgun. If you're carrying a handgun in a movie, you're bound to be the protagonist. If you're carrying a handgun in a video game, it's the starter weapon for a lot of early first-person shooters for good reason, and you can really see why Foxhound prefers this kind of weapon, prefers a Mark 23 for the general intended special warfare rules. This is not a concealable weapon. This is not a there isn't anything that this does better. There isn't anything that this does better than a lot of other guns. But if you had something to bet your life on, at the end of the day, this ranks among the Beretta 92 and the 1911 for a gun that you can really trust. Something you can really put your finger on. Is it worth the price for everyone? Maybe not, but you know, it's worth the price for those who really want to get the most out of it. Those who love it, those who love it and know what they can get out of it. This is what this gun is made for. There's other guns that I prefer with longer pedigrees, better styling, and a lot more experience behind them. But I can't help but respect the Mark 23 for what it was built to do. It's an operator's pistol first, certainly a protagonist pistol if I've ever seen one. And gentlemen, that is all I have for you today. I will catch you on the flip. This has been Arbitrated Conclusions. I will see you another time. Alright, that skit's over. That's finally the script is over. I screwed up the script so many times. Hello everyone, Felix here. Yeah, I just wanted to LARP as admin results again. Mayoshi is back on Twitter, and I decided, you know what? I do this a lot. The bit isn't funny. I'm speaking out of character now. The bit isn't funny. I wanted to do something like semi-informative, I guess, having fun with this kind of thing. A lot of the scripts were last minute. This range was literally built in a day. As you can tell by some of the glitchiness of this range was in fact built in a day. But yeah, I wanted to have fun with this. My Oshi is my flesh Oshi at admin results is back on Twitter. You can go to my profile. You can really see if you go to my Twitter, you can really see the hold on. You can really see who I'm reposting a lot of. This is like, and besides, I just wanted to have fun with this. I've always been a bit like, I don't know what to talk about. This is kind of devolving back into a Zanzadon, I guess, just with me still on the range. And I wanted to do I decided to do a Raiden themed April Fools because I just wanted to. It isn't funny, but to me it is. I think the nervousness and the need to improv really got the better of me because I just started sometimes I just started reading the script Sometimes I just started sometimes I just started reading the script. Sometimes I just resorted to improving, and I didn't hit the intended beat that I wanted to hit. So yeah, like overall, I was again most of the time I am not nervous because I know what I'm gonna say, and I can just freeform it. But I got stage fright, admittedly, early on. I got people listening to me downstairs. Um, hold on, let's rearrange that. There we go. Um, I got people listen. Three in the same hole. All right, hold on. Let's see if we can get that five rounds in the same hole that the Mark 23 was allegedly capable of doing. Nope. Nope. Hold on. 1, 2. That's not working out. But yeah, oh, hold on. I gotta remove some trash from this area. But yeah, if you guys don't know me, I'm a big fan of this guy called Admin Results, big gun tuber guy. I follow like outside of VTubing, I follow a lot of gun tubers because I just hold on. Let me adjust that. I follow a lot of gun tubers. Like firearms is a big passion for me, and I'm just a fan of a lot. I have my flesh Oshis. I have people that I admire, and Admin is one of those people. Technically, we're littering, but don't ignore that. Um, Admin is one of those people. He's a nice guy, genuinely interesting and funny content. So you can't have, like, if I'm gonna be parasocial for a guy, it's probably gonna be him. You just someone you look up to, and his content style. Like I said last time, I did this last year with the NCR service rifle thing. Like outside of VTubers, like his content is the kind of style that I was looking for to emulate because it's a very casual. It's a very casual style. And his brand of autism is very similar to mine. It's very similar. It's very similar to mine when it comes to Hold on. These keep coming back. It's very. Like his brand of autism is very similar to mine. If you've seen his Baru Files episodes, and it's like again. I'm not like he's a good-looking guy, but I'm not like attached to him in a weird way. I'm not like that. I'm not gay for him, whatever. But someone I look up to, so someone whose content I really admire, and I wanted to kind of emulate that with this kind of thing. That certain cadence of how he talks. He got like he stares into the camera a lot. He does. He does this a lot. He does this a lot, and also I wanted to do a Raiden themed model because I thought it would be funny. Yes, there it is in all its glory. But the funny part is that hold on, let me just chat. This the hair on this model is currently closer to my IRL hair than my than the one on my regular one. So I might actually switch over to this kind of I might switch over to like the kind of hair on this one because I think it suits me a bit better. But anyways, how are you guys doing? This is a very belated. This is a very belated, there we go, 5 rounds in a single hole. This is a very belated, April Fool's themed stream. I'm glad people stuck around to come, because, again, this is very much after April Fool's itself. I hope y'all had a good Easter, because I haven't seen you all since I did the GFL stream last time. I'm still working on getting the VODs out for the ones that I had to cover up and do some censorship on because Ironically, a lot of those were against censorship, but some of the VODs that I wanted to do were some of the VODs that I was working on do show like either my real location or my real or something of that sort, something I want to keep covered up. So I'm still working on getting those out. Thank you for your patience because like I was trying to work on those in the meantime while I was away. But yeah, overall, hold on. Okay, so it doesn't register when it's yeah, I was shooting through these I was shooting through these doors earlier. I forgot to say the tagline. I forgot to say the I forgot to say let's check out the conclusions. The arbitrative conclusions. Oh, I forgot to say that because I was supposed to say that during the script, but I forgot about it because I was too nervous. I was able to nail it. The overall, the like I feel like I had better information and a better script in this one, but I was able to improv better when I did the NCR, the Fallout themed arbitrative conclusions episode. I did a better job of pretending to be admin in that one. Hold on, this is the area where you fight Fat Man, right? And that's Solidus's Harrier. Speaking of Metal Gear, there's that whole controversy as of recent about the there's that whole controversy as of right now about like if you don't play these games you shouldn't comment on them. I have been commenting quite a bit on games I have not played, specifically Metal Gear. I'm hoping to change that very soon. I'm hoping to change that very soon because again, I consider the writing on it some of the better in the I have a whole rant about Kojima somewhere where I don't entirely agree with his views, but I still find his writing of when it comes to Metal Gear to be some of the better in the AAA gaming industry, and that's what I am something both that I really admire. I love the aesthetic. I love the story in a lot of it, and I want to get into it for real. And that's something that you can expect later on this channel as we go in later on. As we go in later on for April, I will be playing a lot of those. I don't like. I might be doing it next stream. I might be doing it near the end. April is kind of the big Metal Gear month, so I decided doing it. Well, like besides April Fools, doing this hitting something like this would be quite fun for this month. And yeah, I haven't seen you guys in a while. I'm just happy to be back, even if even if I did like spoil my even if I did spoil my script a little bit and I got too nervous and it wasn't funny enough. I tried to get into it. I tried to get into character. It didn't work all the time, but I'm hoping it was satisfactory. If my Oshi does see this, then I will be very embarrassed, and I don't want him to see it. But I will be very flattered if he does. After all, the all of this is an attempt to flatter him. After all, imitation is the height of flattery, as they say, as some say. Imitation is the purest form of flattery, and if he sees this and he makes fun of me and thinks I'm a weirdo for trying to be him, he's free to think that, and he's also right because I am a weirdo for trying to do that. But yeah, I like, despite my nervousness and my stage fright today, I had a lot of fun, and I am quite proud of this little range that I've built. I think it's fun. I still need to improve some aspects of it, but screwing around here, I have a Fallout themed one, now I have a Metal Gear themed one, which is nice. I have building this little range in Gmod. I have a Tarkov one that became that was preloaded. I was almost gonna use that one, but I decided to build my own range instead. Here in Gmod, because it would fit better for the aesthetic, and and I did a Fallout themed range for the other one. So I decided doing a big shell Metal Gear Solid 2 one would complement the riding cosplay. As we can see, I am in fact pretending to be riding here. But yeah, that's what do you guys think? What do you guys think for this since I basically turned this into a Zatsudan? A lot has happened, I feel. A lot has happened since we last talked. There's a ceasefire in the war where we went back to the moon. Um what else is there? Oh yeah, the Law and Order episode with VTuber. That's probably going to be a lot of people, like, unfortunately, the wrong kind of people's introduction to VTubing is probably going to be through a Law and Order episode, which, in my opinion, did not handle the subject matter very well. The writing is terrible. I was not satisfied. I was not satisfied by the well, again, I just don't like Law and Order as a thing, as a show concept, because of the kinds of things that it invariably makes fun of that it should normally take seriously. It's a very out of touch show, and while people have argued that it treats the VTuber very well in this, in my opinion, it doesn't. Oh, hold on. There we go. We're back outside. We just gotta go back up there. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? I'm just I'm not used to this level of dead silence, although I am thankful for the people that we got watching. There we go. We're back on the roof. But yeah, I hope y'all are doing well. I had a pretty good Easter. I saw my cousin on my dad's side, and then my aunt and uncle on my mom's side came in, and one of my aunts, one of my great aunts also came to to the Easter party, which was fine, which was great. I went to this like Asian fusion place, and and I had some really nice fried rice there. The moon pictures were mesmerizing. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm not affected by them enough because I don't really not to make a pun. I don't realize the gravity. I'm not accepting the gravity of what's going on. Of the way that we're finally back. We're finally going back to the moon. We're gonna set foot on it soon. This is the farthest humans have ever been from Earth. It's a lot to process, and I wish I appreciated it more because it is such a beautiful achievement for mankind. For America, for all of us, for America to be leading the charge into deep space. I want NASA's budget to increase. I want round the clock rocket launches. I want us to set foot on the moon already because it is. I get it. We have to do baby steps first, but I want to set foot on another world again. It's a childhood dream. Like, it was a childhood dream for me since elementary school to become an astronaut. Of course, I'm not suited for that now since I could barely pass aerospace engineering. But it's still a dream that I have. Being able to at least as a space tourist to go into space where it's reliable enough and available enough to where the average person can go and do this kind of thing. Again, not merely for the novelty, but to set foot on another world and really experience it for what it is, to be affected by it firsthand by the beauty of space and all that. It's something wonderful. And I feel like we were only on the far side of the moon, on the dark side, for a little bit, and I wish we were there longer because of just I want humans to be farther than that. I want hundreds of humans in between Earth and the moon, in between Mars and the moon. I just that's something that affects me a lot. I really hope that the moon base plan goes through though. Yeah, it's been like ever since I was a kid, I was dreaming of like building. I called it the lunar colony. That's what I called it. Everyone calls it the moon base. It's a bit more elaborate to call it the lunar colony, and that's what I dreamed about. That's what I would dream of. Actually, Dantiok, earlier you mentioned the Mark 83. I can't remember exactly what that is. Could you enlighten me? The Mark 83. This is the Mark 23. This is the by HK. How long have I been going? Hold on. Around what 1 hour 25. So that's a decent time for like a little shorter stream. But yeah, I've got like people downstairs that I don't want to like piss off. And they're like very confused as to what I'm talking about. But yeah, I like what I've made here. I like what I've made here. Hold on, let me let's do another build reel. Okay. Beep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, if Clanker comes in and he says beep, I'm gonna do like I'm gonna do all sorts of I'm gonna run all the drills in this because I think that would be fun. Oh, I am hoping Clanker comes in because I want to do the beep joke, and then I just like he's a good he would make for a good shot timer if I um oh, hold on, I can't access that crane. He would make for a good shot timer because he's a clanker, he's a robot, he beeps a lot. He could be my shot timer. I think he hopefully he's since he's a battle droid, he has that function. Um, he has that function. The Zastava revolver that I have. Oh, what caliber is that? That's 38 special or 357 Magnum, right? Because the M8, the Zastava M83. That's one of the few Eastern Bloc revolvers out there, right? It has a long and heavy trigger. Admittedly, like me running this gun is a case of stolen valor because I have not shot a Mark 23 or a USP in real life. I've never seen. I've seen CZs. I've seen a lot of more conventional pistols. I might have seen a USP before, but I've never seen a Mark 23 in real life. So this is pretty big for me. So like it would be pretty big for me if I got to see one. I've seen like custom Desert Eagles though, and those can get really large. So this being around the size of one is pretty daunting. This would be gigantic in my hands. Like, speaking realistically, again, stated before, when I was LARPing, I do have twink hands. Unfortunately, as you can see, like, there's like, you can set, like, this is a really nice mod where you can set it up like the Combine USPs from Half-Life 2. You can set them up like the Metal Gear version. You can set them up like a lot of popular civilian configurations of the Trigicon RMR. The gold slide is fun. This is for Trepang 2. This is not for Metal Gear. There's like a lot of options that you can do. And unfortunately, there does not exist a full auto Mark 12 in real life. Unfortunately, there also does not exist a 3-round burst Mark 12 in real life, although that would be kind of sick, even if I don't like 3-round burst. Overall, the thing about this, something I forgot to mention while LARPing, my honest thoughts on this is that, again, there isn't really a point to this gun, but it's so beautiful that, like, it's still a dream gun of mine to have, because it's such a rarity and it's so cool looking. In my mind, this is like the perfect companion to a gun like the Scar 20 or the Scar HCQB or the Scar 17. like polymer frame, advanced. This one has a polymer frame. This car has a polymer lower. A polymer lower, so it fits well. That one comes in 308. This one comes in 45 ACP. So you're getting really like two like heavy hitters in your packet, like in the same loadout. And the best part is like the funniest part about this kind of thing is that despite this would go really hard as a pistol chassis. However, HK does not like aftermarket parts very much. It does not like they don't like aftermarket parts very much. They don't like there aren't any like proprietary metal slides. I think a metal slide. I think a metal frame. On the USP or the Mark 12 would. Or the Mark 24, the Mark 23 would be really, really good. Like really good looking, especially if you got wood grips, kind of like Leon's Silver Ghost from Resident Evil 4. You would get something like that. Something I also neglected to mention is that Chris Redfield uses a Mark 23 in Marvel vs. Capcom. He uses a Mark 23 in that one. Kurt Russell, who was the inspiration for Solid Snake and Big Boss, also used one in the sci-fi movie Soldier, which I forgot to mention. Yes, oh yeah, okay. But yeah, again, this is this would be a grail gun for the average person, and it costs 3K. So like the person who has one of these isn't messing around. Let's do another drill. Sometimes the hits don't register, but it's a game, so. There we go. Now it's like alternative on both sides. But yeah, doing this has been quite fun. Since I haven't been to the range in a while, like this is the kind of things that I want to do with guns. Admittedly, I guess it's because of my gun tuber obsession that I like running drills. I want to do like shoot and move kind of things. I want to do tactical reloads. Playing IPSC or running IPSC would be really fun. So that would be something like a dream come true for me if that ever got to happen. Let's see if I am able to hit the A zone. I do wonder if Clanker is in here. If he says beep, again, I will extend this just to do just to do shooting drills. Hold on. Oh, we got an alpha. We got an alpha. Oh wow. Okay, I couldn't even get that during like the normal course of fire. I do wish I could have pulled off like the arbitrative conclusions persona a bit better, because most of mine was I had to improv and my own personality leaked through. I broke character a bunch of times. By the way, that's not a real sponsorship. Tail is not actually selling his line. But if he does, I hope he does sponsor me unironically, because he's a great guy. Oh, there's the A zone. Those are Bravo and a Charlie. Hold on. The soundtrack is back, which means it's a good sign. There's the A zone. Anyways, how have y'all been doing? How was y'all's Easter? How did you do? Again, I'm sorry for like not coming up with stuff to talk about. This is my it's gonna be another week until I start streaming again because of the way things are set up in my odd schedule. This was originally scheduled for Monday, but some stuff happened. It was my dad's birthday, so I wasn't gonna stream on that day. Maybe I should like start setting up targets on these other on the other struts to see how far I can shoot with other guns. By the way, fellas, is it gay if a guy you know on the internet appears in your dream and he saves your life? Because like the funniest thing is the guy I was parodying today did appear in one recently where he does that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna relay all the details because it is pretty weird. Nothing sus happened in it, but it was like it was a fever dream. It was a nightmare, and he was like the one guy that saved it that could help me in that. But you know, I don't know. I don't know if I should be mentioning that kind of thing. I'm ranting. I'm losing my mind up here on this strut D. Am I on strut D? Hold on. Let me go down the stairs and check. Let's check what strut I'm on. Hold on. Is there an invisible wall? Yes, there is. Okay. Again, the worst part about me is that like usually I have something to react to. Oh, it's only good if the balls touch. Thankfully, no. So the plot of it, the plot of the dream, of the nightmare that I had, was that there was this I was like, I was in some kind of stadium, and admin was there. And for some reason, Garantham, the cheating bastard, was there, and like I didn't want and I don't know what he was doing there, but they were, I guess, like running security for the place. And then it comes out somewhere that we're being hunted by our doppelgangers. We're being hunted by our evil doppelgangers of some sort, and either that I never see my own doppelganger throughout the story, but I see that other people do. We're being hunted by our own doppelgangers. Admin, like I check with the real admin. Clear him. We go through the room. He would and he has to take out like fake Garantham and fake administrative results for me to go through the next room, and then I don't see him again. And the doppelgangers are being constructed by this like Chinese this Chinese human trafficking network that's like trying to take over the world and do. Yeah, we are. Oh, we're in Strut E. We're in Strut E. That's where we are. But he's trying to do that and so I have to escape. I eventually, like, I see a lot of scenes on the highway. There we go. Hold on. That's Strut E. Yeah, but yeah, I've been having some wild dreams from time to time that I feel like noting down. Anyways, what do you think of what did y'all think of the VTuber Law and Order episode? What did y'all make of that? Because it was to me I feel like it paints a lot of VTubing in a bad light. I know a lot of people, like, one of the people I talk to kind of hates the community, like, and not the community, but like the VTubing sphere a little bit. And regarded most of it as accurate. Not to me. I just don't like Law and Order. Maybe that's my own problem, but it's what I got to deal with. Anyways, let's see if anyone else shows up. If y'all have any more questions or stuff that you want to talk about, let me know. Oh man, part of me is still roughed up from the gym yesterday. I think next stream I'm gonna be playing Metal Gear 1, as in not Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear 1, with the 80s version, Operation Intrude and 313, that kind of thing. I will be playing that probably next week. I'm not sure. Also plan to do more Girls Frontline this month, and probably another ethanol education. I might have more time. I might have less time. I'm not sure. But one thing's for sure is I want to keep streaming. I want to keep doing this kind of thing. I want to keep improving on my content, what I'm doing, having fun with it, of course, and just be a better YouTube dancing monkey for you. Be a better dancing monkey, because this is what I got, and I better be good at it. I didn't know Law and Order was still airing. Yeah, it's like they really should have ended a while ago. Like, boomers, like, for some, like, whatever boomers, and for some reason, I guess the millennials that grew up with it are still watching. I wouldn't watch it. I've seen it like a couple times on at the gym, and it's like aggressively mid at best and actually terrible at worst. I don't like. Everyone, like, the Special Victims Unit is a meme on it, like, on its own, but it honestly gets very tiring, because, like, it's going to be like against some political target that they don't like, or it's either going to be against some political target they don't like, or it's going to be like hilariously out of touch, or it's going to be both, or it's going to be something that no one actually cares about. Like, there are a lot of other crime shows did it like confronted their premises a lot better than Law and Order does. It can really tell the agendas of the showrunners and the writers, and it just gets tiring. It just generally gets tiring for at least as a non-watcher like me, to like constantly be reminded of its existence. I might do another collab might be in the cards soon, but that's for another time. Hi Felix, how's it going? I'm doing alright. You missed my I think you missed my bit earlier. My bit where I was pretending to be famous GunTuber admin results earlier, under the name Arbitrative Conclusions. Oh, hold on. Let's see if I can Mozambique this pretty well. Hold on. Beep. I'll bravos, but you know. Hold on. Yeah, I kind of ran through the intro, because I wanted to like his intros are really short, so I didn't want to overstay my welcome. so I basically speedran the intro. The intro was like the only thing smooth about this, and it does feel kind of it does feel kind of cringe the way I was LARPing as Raiden or a Foxhound operator, but it was fun. I like getting in character, even if I didn't do it very well. I thought you had just rebranded. Yeah, this was part of that joke. The arbitrative conclusions joke was um that was like I do this kind of time for April Fools. I'm probably not going to do this next year, but if people actually if people actually like this, then I might like if this gets actual views, then I might unironically do it next year again, and like get like until admin notices me for real. I shouldn't pester the man. He has his own shit. He's like my comments before. I should probably leave him alone and do something else. But it's funny, I guess, like pretending to be a major gun tuber. But yeah, I did not rebrand permanently. This was just part of the bit. It was part of a bit that I guess only I found funny. But I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing these kinds of segments because it lets me it lets me rely on someone else's format, but with my intention of content. A lot of the stuff that I do here are based on like a lot of the stuff that I do here are based on are based on stuff that he might do if he was given like one of these. To this day he hasn't like of the two videos I have that are like that where I pretend to be this guy, he hasn't actually done the gun that I've reviewed. So I guess like technically mine are the only ones out there of his format that I have done. But anyways, hold on. Maybe I should have like let's go over there. Maybe I should have built this on a different strut. Let's see if I can get on the top of there. See if I can build another range there. Again, I am like he calls himself a dancing monkey on the internet. I am even more so of that. Although I don't dance very well and I don't sing very well either. So this is LARPing is what I got. LARPing is what I got. Oh no, this is the wrong door. Where's the exterior? Gotta find our way around Big Shell. There's the exit. How do we get there? Yeah, how do we get there? That's upstairs. A lot of this is me exploring this recreation of Big Shell before I enter and play Big Shell for real. Oh, there we go. That's strut D. That's I don't want to jump in the water. Oop, that was precarious. Yeah, this is someone like I'm probably gonna link the map in the description as well as Tail because I think it's funny. Yeah, this is strut D. Okay. Is this where Raiden pops out of? I think so. Trying to find the maybe the it could be that the strut I'm looking for is the one where we fight Fat Man on. Anyways. Okay, so we're on our way to strut C, which is where that goes. Oh, that door is broken. Hold on. There we go. Okay, we can actually enter from this side. Oh, this is the kitchen. Oh, yeah, that's right. Ultra cooked copy paper. No, this is an office. Oh, yeah, the cacti garden. Some like I like the detail that they went into this while really keeping it close to Oh, that's the bridge that blows up when the Harrier crashes. Oh, these are the Navy SEALs from that scene early on in the game. Strut A, hold on. Yeah, I think strut A might be the strut we're looking for. And I'm sorry for not speaking as much as well, because I was not prepared to make this a Zatsudon, but I guess I just decided to make it one in order to keep going a little longer. Oh, I can't go through that door. That's weird. I can go through this door. Oh. Okay, so I am... Hold on. Let's see if I can see my shooting range from here. My voice is starting to crack. Anyways, Rez, what do you think of the Law and Order thing? What do you think of the moon thing that's been that we've accomplished recently? If Clanker comes in, I could use his beeps because I want to run some drills. Hold on, am I hovering above the ground? Yes, I am. I am hovering. I am hovering above the ground. Hold on. E is the That's the big shell. Okay, so that is the big shell. Oh no. Let's go into strut F. I get back to strut F again. Hold on, let's see if I can... No, I cannot, in fact, go up here. There's the bridge to the actual big shell. Let me in! Let me in! I guess that door's closed. If only I could take that Harrier jet and get like some good recon. Of course, I could just press P and like fly away, but you know, where's the fun in that? Hold on, isn't this like that's a nice that's a nice show. This is another no, we're back in. Yeah, we're back to the range to the strut I built the range on. We're back to the strut range. The range strut, I mean. That's to F, that's to E. Yeah, we can see hold on, I'm just really lollygagging around. I might have to look for someone to raid if my boy Not he's not my boy. He's like older than me, like by a lot. His name is Clanker, and I kind of miss him. Exit. There's the stairs. There's the stairs to the range. I guess we'll end off. We'll end off around here. Hold on. How long have I been going? All right, close to 2 hours. But yeah, I am surprised that. Oh, hold on. Let me put that back into place. I guess the wind must have blown it over. I guess. Anyways, 2 rounds left. I am surprised that like this many people have arrived this late. But thank you hold on, yeah, thank you everyone who came. Thank you everyone who came genuinely. I might have to find someone to raid soon because my voice is getting hoarse and I'm running and I have long run out of things to say. Next stream might be Metal Gear, as in the first one, in order to fit with this. That will be on Thursday next week. I'll set that up. Probably I'm gonna get like, I'll probably like try and get a kick out of this Raiden model because I am quite fond of it. I am quite fond of it. Is it anachronistic? Yes, but I'm still gonna like using it. I like doing little costumes for my model. And again, like I said, the hair, like Raiden's hair on this one is more accurate to my current hairstyle than my than on my current one. I really need to reinforce the gap here. Hold on. Oh, I'm not hitting it right. Alright. Oh, it doesn't register if I hit it the other way back. But yeah, thank you. Hold on. Hold on for a second as I find someone to raid. Thank you for being patient, everyone. Um, thank you everyone who came. Otsu Love. Let's see who I will be sending you off to. I'm kind of thinking, if, actually, hold on. Um, let's see who else is live. Um, let's see who else is let's see who else is live. Oh, we got Haunty Miles. Yeah, he's playing Fallout 3. You know what? We're gonna send you over there. Thank you everyone who came. Thank you Rez and thank you Dantiok, Otsu Love, and I will be seeing you on next Thursday. Hold on, let me pop that in chat. Thank you everyone. Oh, hold on.